quite a few of the comment deadlines are still open, and some of them have recently closed, but no decisions have been made yet. So for example, when we say this was a big package, there was radical revision to the plan boundaries, urban boundaries get drawn. There were also originally proposals to take away the voice of the public in appealing those decisions. Fortunately, they put that back, except for Committee of Adjustment. But other third-party appeals, like some of you in the group today were probably represented by CELA on some Ontario Municipal Board matters in the past, those kinds of appeals are back. And that matters a lot because if it didn't count, if your voice at council or the consultation didn't count, if nothing would come of it, then there'd be no incentive to pay attention to what your concerns were, right? It's not that we want most things going to Ontario Municipal Board. It's expensive, it takes a lot of time. But the fact that it could means people have to pay attention to what you have to say. So that's pretty important that that's back. So in your comments, it's a good idea to say, we're glad you changed your mind on that and gave us back the right to comment meaningfully. The thing that happened is originally the changes they proposed were taking away the right of municipalities to do what we call green standards. So different kinds of requirements, let's say their municipalities are requiring green roofs or other things that would reduce impact from heat, particularly with lots of paving. And so they partially gave that back, and then we're pushing to use other tools that municipalities have so that they can keep on helping to protect us from climate change. On the other hand, conservation authorities are a very, very important part of how we protect natural heritage in Southern Ontario, and on how land use planning takes account of what are the most valuable wetlands, forests, where are we protecting from flooding. Their authority has been radically reduced. Again, it's been happening, and this was not changed. So the way the bill was passed the other day on November 28th, conservation authorities are still much reduced in what they're allowed to do. But there's a whole bunch of policy decisions still to happen, which hasn't happened yet. So for example, in that bill, it says that there could be a regulation that spells out certain things conservation authorities may not comment on. And on that list of proposed things is aggregate resources, for example. Environmental assessments. They have not done that regulation yet. It is really important to get your voice into your MPP and into the Minister of Natural Resources and in on that comment to say, we don't want conservation authorities' voices shut down because they're our experts. They help us have quality natural environments, work toward restoring what we've already lost and not lose more than we have to. And that's really important, and maybe the last one I'll finish with right now, is the policy around wetlands. So this is not in Bill 23, but it's part of the housing package because there have been some tug of wars between the province and some of the conservation authorities, particularly in Eastern Ontario, about protecting wetlands. So what they've proposed to do is change the way wetlands are identified and categorized and take out of the policy the following things that otherwise would make wetlands significant. Take out if they're habitat for species at risk. Take out if they're part of a complex, like Bannister Lakes complex, for example.
Terrible.
Allow for reevaluation. Take out Ministry of Natural Resources oversight. So the conservation authorities, including the ones in our area, have looked at that and said we probably cannot protect and retain wetlands in our landscape in Southern Ontario if these changes go through. And this is very important for protecting against flooding, in addition to providing habitat and much other functionality that we have. So I'm going to stop there. We have on our website, CELA.ca, a landing page we made for this bill. It explains how you can comment on a proposal. It has a handy chart that says here's the link to each proposal and the deadline. Don't let the deadline dissuade you from commenting on something that still matters to you, because like I say, even when the deadlines are over, the decisions are not made yet. It's very important to keep expressing your opinion. And then on top of that, I just put a blog up and we published it a couple days ago. The bill can change. Lots of it isn't even in effect yet. Some of it may never take effect. That's happened in the past if they get, a lot of concern expressed, and things can change. So